Hey, today let's talk about positive mindset. I hear a lot of people that are really talking about positive mindset right now. Maybe that's kind of what I'm focusing on, and maybe that's why I hear it, but I'm hearing it a lot. And unfortunately, a lot of people are making positive mindset, making it a little bit more complicated than it really is. Having a mindset, the mindset for success is about finding the good in everything. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have problems. It doesn't mean that there's not problems that are smacking you in the face. Here's where the issue comes up. Here's where the challenge is. If you are constantly focused on the problem, that's what we call a safe problem. Okay. Because you bring importance or significance to yourself because you have this problem and you want to complain about it. And so that's all you do is you're telling everyone that you're complaining this and this and this and this. And maybe you're a Beachbody coach and so you've got some inactive people, or maybe you're losing rank or you're not getting to where you want to get. And so you start to look and focus on the problem instead of the solution. And 95% of the time, we focus on the problem. And that's not what we need to do. We need to focus on the solution. Focus on what you can do to correct the issue, right? Tony Robbins will tell you, hey, if you got weeds in the garden, you got weeds in the garden. Get them out. Let's not just sit there and look at the weeds and try to figure out how they got there or what the problem is with the weeds. Let's get them out. Then we can look and see what caused the problem and try to prevent it from happening. But in society, we are bombarded with negativity all day long. Everything you see on the news, whether it's the election, whether it's crime, it could just be anything. Wars, terrorism, you've got issues with your children not behaving, doing badly in school, bullying. Every time we turn around, we're faced with negativity all day long. It's negative, 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 negative. And it puts us into a negative mindset. So now we start focusing on all of these problems. We need to focus on the solution. And I can promise you, if you will look at a challenge that comes before you and start to try to come up with a solution to the problem, you'll be able to solve it. And here's the secret to success. The secret to success is solving problems. The bigger the problem you can solve, the bigger the success. It's really just that simple. But you're not going to be able to solve a small problem by focusing on the problem. You have to focus on the solution. In order to stay in a positive mindset, the mindset for success, you have to constantly be feeding yourself positive motivation. You need to be reading personal development books, watching personal development videos. You need to constantly be feeding your mind with positivity. I have several videos on my website, successcrusader.com. One of them is Big Time Players. There's another one, the triad. We're often doing our emotions. So we're looking at a problem and getting upset or frustrated, and we will do the emotion, and that prevents us from finding a solution. So look at those two videos. And then charging your battery is another one. We constantly have to charge our battery because it's getting drained all day long. Everybody's sucking and pulling and draining on us. And so you have to constantly be feeding yourself positive motivation, looking yourself in the mirror, telling yourself you're a big time player, telling yourself that you're going to succeed, that big things are going to happen for you. Start looking at where you want to go. The subconscious mind is huge. And so if we're constantly feeding ourselves negativity, we're constantly hearing that we're not good enough, strong enough, smart enough, and we're buying into that and we're being mean to ourselves with the words that we're using, then we're going to live in a negative state and we're not going to be productive and we're not going to be successful. So focus on what you want to happen. Focus on the good things. Be a good finder. If you got weeds in the garden, you got weeds in the garden, get them out. But let's not just sit there and stare at them and tell everybody we got weeds in the garden. Let's get the weeds out of the garden. Okay? I'm Steve Swinford. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.